Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle surprised everyone in 2017 when developer Ubisoft Paris delighted us with a mix of whimsical characters, a gorgeous cartoon-like aesthetic, and surprisingly hardcore turn-based tactics that could challenge even the most resolute of tactic genre fans. Fast forward 5 years and Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope is here to push the concept even further. We spoke with associate producer Cristina Nava to learn more about this upcoming Nintendo Switch exclusive, and she gave us 5 ways Sparks of Hope is working to surprise players, challenge expectations, and keep the wonder alive. You think you know Mario Rabbids? You think you know, but we have new gameplay mechanics and abilities, and we have the Sparks. The Sparks provide the heroes with special powers and can be equipped in any configuration. No Spark belongs to a single hero. So with that, players can have Mario shooting fireballs, flanked by a lightning bolt blasting Luigi. Princess Peach might anchor the squad with an AoE healing spell, while Bowser might be up top, cracking skulls in close quarter combat. How you combine and mix and match Sparks to suit your playstyle is totally up to you, and the scope for variety and changing things up in real time seems huge. To this end, Nava adds, so imagine that you're using a hero who is not the best in defense, stats and power, but with a black spark, for example, as you might have seen in the trailer, it can deploy 3 shields as an exosphere. Even with characters you'd never associate with defense, they can use sparks to help you out. For example, you can pair it with Bowser, who, as a companion using exosphere, can trigger an AoE defense spell for everyone else in the team, including himself. This is exactly what we mean about experimenting and the value of trying things out on the battlefield. In this game, Bowser joins his forces with Mario and his pals in Sparks of Hope. In practice, this adds a whole new dynamic to battles, with King Koopa offering a healthy dose of brute force and tank-like power to each turn-based offense. All of this is designed to entice both masters of Mario Rabbids and newbies. Nava says if you want it to, the game will take you by the hand, meaning you'll never be left alone, not knowing what to do or where to go. The best advice for newcomers is to enjoy the story, enjoy the humor, and when it comes to battles, you don't need to rush because there is no pressure. Nava says that players should lean on the game's aerial view of the battlefield ahead of combat set pieces in order to plan their moves as best they can ahead of time, but equally stresses the importance of experimenting on the fly. This, Nava says, is the best way to learn and improve your skills in combat. She adds, you can choose your heroes to play to your strengths too, and so you can counterbalance the strengths and weaknesses of your enemies. With the real-time movement, you can experiment. You can try the best cover out in one round, and if that doesn't work for you, you can try flanking your enemies, getting close and use your abilities or techniques, or choose another hero to move. So really, the best advice is take your time. Don't be stressed by the fact that it's a tactical strategy game, because it's really easy to grasp. If you want to rush, you can rush. If you want to take your time, you can. By removing grids from its turn-based attacks, Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope is exploring new ground. Movement is still restricted to zones in order to keep things fair, but the ability to freely move in an allotted space means battles will be even more fluid than its predecessor. Between fights, exploration is once more an integral part of the experience, with this game being bigger than anything that's come before. One particularly popular feature of Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle was the ability to retrace your steps in the game world, and in turn unlocking new abilities and perks. That's one element Ubisoft is building on for the sequel. Sparks of Hope is a combat game, but it's also a tactical adventure, Nava adds. So the adventure part is indeed exploration, the other pillar of our game. We expanded the gameplay and exploration. Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle's worlds were like corridors in many ways. They were very linear, in structure but also in progression terms and the story. Here, we're being much more ambitious. You can tackle challenges, battles, and the main quest in the order that you see fit. There really is an open world to explore here in Sparks of Hope. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope is more focused on balance, welcoming strategy veterans and first-timers alike. Sparks of Hope is indeed a tactical strategy game with combat. We know that the genre commands a more niche audience, but we wanted to make it as open as possible, Nava explains. Here, what we wanted to do was make the tactical part of it even easier to grasp. The appeal for the hardcore gamers and the tactical genre enthusiasts, that's still there. The combat is still deep and layered, if you want to experiment. But we've also removed the grid when players are planning their attacks. That's real-time movement too, so there's a broader appeal for experts and beginners. We've tried to appeal to an even wider audience this time around. I was a huge fan of the first Mario & Rabbids, but the fact that Sparks of Hope is pushing the boundaries of the genre, it's firmly on my wish list. The mix and match Bioshock Plasmids-esque sparks sound like great fun in battle, and free movement without grids is a bold move for any turn-based strategy game. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope is due out on October 20th, 2022, and I'm excited, and I think you should be too.